How you doing, everybody? I'm Will Bryant. We're gonna make today some iced coffee. Now, I must admit, I'm not a big coffee drinker. However, I like the fact when you brew ice, cold brew coffee, it takes out the bitterness, and you're left with a nice nutty and chocolatey taste. I first started out using the Arabica Colombian bean, because what you're going to need is a medium roast or darker, a medium or medium dark. You cannot use a light roast because it's not going to produce the aromas and taste of a darker roast. You're going to be left with an acidic coffee that doesn't taste too well. So I would recommend at least a medium roast to a darker roast like this espresso. I'm going to use this espresso because you're going to have more chocolatey notes and a nice nutty taste. And what you're going to need is a coffee grinder. And fill it up to according to the manufacturer. I'll use about a cup of fresh beans. And here you just fill up to the fill line. And what you're going to do, you're going to need a coarse grind. I guess about the consistency of grits. Lock the ball in place. I think this is about the consistency you're looking for. And what I'm going to do, I got 3 mason jars, because you need for every cup of coffee, you're going to need about 1 liter of cold water. So, and I don't have a large mason jar, so I'm just going to divide this amongst 3. Okay, and say it is some cold water. You can use bottled water, but I like the fluorinated taste of this tap water here. That RFK Jr. trying to get rid of. But, okay. And all you gotta do is put the top on the mason jar and agitate it. Okay. And then you'll just pop it in the fridge overnight. You shouldn't let it steep more than 24 hours because if you do, it will pull out the bitter elements, and you don't want that. Then the next morning, you don't have nothing ready. What you're going to need, get you some cheesecloth. And it's going to cut a piece. There's my shears. Just cut your piece of cheesecloth and I fold it maybe 1 time, and then get you a fine sieve. And then what you're gonna do, once you have your coffee, after it's steeped for no more than 24 hours, you're gonna pour the liquid along with the grounds into the cheesecloth and the fine sieve strainer. And I'll do this for each one of the coffees. And then the resultant liquid, you just discard and kind of squeeze out the grinds. And then the resultant liquid, you just maybe fill the glass up halfway, throw some ice, and your favorite, I like, Hershey's caramel. And of course, Go grab your favorite creamer and blend it over some ice. You got you a nice treat. I guarantee it. Okay, well, signing off.